We are halfway through the month of December. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the remainder of the month. If you're not into reselling, that is okay as well. You could use this guide to know what exactly are going to be the most hype sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save some money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you, such as the recent shock drops that we have been seeing. Also, just an update on Gargantua, we recently pushed our Shopify module, which also comes with a restock automation feature. Be sure to follow the Gargantua_AIO Twitter for updates on restocks. Kicking it off with tomorrow, the 15th, middle of the month, for $140, we have the delayed Jordan 4 Where the Wild Things Are Nike app drop in grade school sizes. I'm actually even more optimistic about these than when we first discussed them. Only the Nike app is left to drop these tomorrow, and it's looking like the demand is holding up for profitability on these, especially on larger sizes 5 and up. With that low retail, I'm definitely expecting easy lunch money on these with a decent margin or better. Also on the 15th for $110, the Dunk Low Next Nature Sequoia will be dropping in Europe. Demand is also quite low on these, just like it was when we first discussed them. I'm only expecting around lunch money with a subpar margin at best for the larger sizes 10 and up. Nothing too great. And then on the 16th for $110 in Europe as well, we have the Dunk Low Next Nature Winter Solstice as well as the Dunk White Sail. Initially, I had low expectations for both of these, but the Winter Solstice actually appears to have pretty solid demand right now. Hence, for these, I'd expect all sizes to be at least lunch money, with larger sizes actually having a pretty good margin. As for the White Sail, I'd still expect lunch money on the larger sizes. Nothing too crazy, but easy profit nonetheless. Also on the 16th for $100, we have the US drop for the Dunk Low Goldenrod. Demand isn't too notable for these either, but it's sufficient to allow for at least lunch money profit with a subpar to decent margin in all sizes. Larger sizes will be the best. Also on the 16th for $200, the Jordan 1 Gore-Tex in light bone now will be dropping. I am expecting these to perform very similar to the prior Gore-Tex Jordan 1s we saw, if anything, perhaps just slightly better. So essentially, I'd only expect lunch money profit with a poor margin on these at best in large sizes. Nothing too great here. Then on the 17th for $200 each, we will be getting a restock of the Yeezy 450 Dark Slate as well as the Yeezy 450 Resin. Expect both of these to be profitable with a very good margin, with the larger size 10 and up maintaining a great margin. Also on the 17th, the Jordan 1 Low Solefly will be dropping for $150. Now, although this will likely perform worse than all prior Solefly collabs that we have seen, including the 10s, there should still be sufficient room for good profitability with a very good margin on these, just for the fact that it is a Solefly collab at the end of the day. Also on the 17th for $100, we have the Europe drop for the Dunk Low Gray Fog. You could still expect these to remain very profitable with an incredible margin, full throttle of course. Also on the 17th for $100, we also have the Europe drop for the Dunk Low Green Noir. The demand on these is pretty decent at the moment, but still I'd only expect around lunch money for these with a decent to good margin, with big sizes being the best of course. Moving on to the 18th, we have another very big day. First, we have the Jordan 1 Handcrafted dropping for $170. Similar to most Jordan 1s that we have been seeing lately, I'm only expecting around lunch money for these with a subpar margin, with the larger size performing the best. But the real fun on this day is the Yeezy 350 Beluga Reflective. Although the release will have insanely high stock according to Yeezy Mafia, potentially as high as the creams in 2019, demand on these is so high, the first 350 V2 color now in reflective, that I still believe that these will be profitable with a good margin, and I am expecting larger sizes to perform the best on these, unlike how it used to be with the contrary, small sizes being the best, where in this case I'm now expecting the larger sizes of them to be the best. I believe we'll see a very similar situation as to what we saw in the cream 350s back in 2019, so do not fear the very high stock. I really do feel that the demand will outweigh that, so this should be an amazing opportunity for easy profit, just perhaps not the most insane margin. Also on the 18th, we should be seeing the Yeezy Basketball Knit Slate Blue drop for $350. We already saw the shock drop on Yeezy Supply, but the 18th will be the full release. Regardless, I'd say personal only for these due to the very high retail and lack of demand that we've seen thus far. Finally, for the 18th, we also have the New Balance 574 SNS collab. Unfortunately, this colorway itself does not have a notable amount of demand despite being an SNS colorway, and thus I'd expect these to honestly just be a personal pair. Moving on to the 20th for $110, we have the SB Dunk High Gray Pink dropping. These appear to have more demand than the typical Dunk High since they are SBs. The way they're looking right now, I'm pretty optimistic about them. I'd expect all sizes to remain profitable with a good margin, and the larger sizes of which being the best. Make sure to check your local skate shops for raffles on these. Also on the 20th for $200, we have another Yeezy 700 MNVN dropping in the metallic colorway. Similar to the recent MNVNs, unfortunately, I am expecting these to mainly be a personal pair. At best, you may be able to make some lunch money with a poor margin on the larger sizes. If you do have no tax, definitely nothing too notable on these. Then on the 22nd, we have another big day. First, the Jordan 1 Atmosphere Pink will be dropping for $170. I don't expect much from these, mainly just lunch money with a subpar margin like many Jordan 1s that we have been seeing recently, the larger sizes of which should perform the best. Nonetheless, it's still another easy money opportunity. More importantly, on the 22nd though, we have the Yeezy 350 Blue Tint making its return for $220. These initially dropped back in 2017. They recently re-released in other regions outside of the US and Europe back in November, but this will now be the main release in December on the 22nd. You guys know how much this shoe means to me. Back in 2017, I did a 24-hour live stream for these where tons of people were able to cop from all the jigs that I was explaining, so throwback to this definitely has a special nostalgic place in my heart. But anyway, you could expect these to still be profitable with a good margin in all sizes. Unlike how sizes under 7 used to perform the best, you should now expect larger sizes to perform the best on these as production has been changing for the sizes. Now, also on the 22nd for $220, the Jordan 4 Golf Bred will be dropping on the Nike app and potentially some other retailers too. I'd expect these to perform in a very similar manner to what we saw on the Cement Golf 4s, or potentially even better. This should leave all sizes profitable with a good margin, and sizes above 10 having a great margin, bigger sizes being the better. Do not sleep on these. Then on the 23rd, we were supposed to be getting the Jordan 4 Red Thunder for $190, and I didn't mention these in my first December video because they were supposed to be delayed until January 15th. However, I'm mentioning them today just for safety because apparently they did just recently load again on the Foot Action release calendar. I'm most likely thinking that this is just a glitch, some kind of error, but just to be safe, I'm mentioning them regardless. Whenever these do end up dropping, I'm pretty optimistic about these. With the very high demand, I'd expect all sizes to be profitable with a good margin, and the large sizes to be profitable with a very good margin. Definitely a great opportunity whenever they do drop, as there should be pretty good stock as well. Then on the 29th for $190, the Jordan 13 Court Purple will be dropping. These are mostly just a personal pair unless you can sell them locally. Then on the 30th for $190, the Jordan 5 Jade will be dropping. At best, I'm only expecting lunch money for these, with larger size being the best, but I will have to keep you guys updated on these. But that's not the end of it for the 30th. Also on the 30th, the best of all, the Jordan 1 Bred Patent Leather will be dropping. These were initially supposed to be dropping on the 25th, but now they are going to be dropping on the 30th. This is a long anticipated release and sure to be many people's grails. I myself definitely need a pair for the toe. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comments below. These will be $170, and you could certainly expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin, full throttle without a doubt. Also on the 30th, that's right, it's not over yet, we should be seeing the Yeezy 350 MX Rock released for $220. I expect these to perform just slightly better than the MXO, if anything perhaps around the same. This should leave sufficient room for profitability with a subpar margin, the larger size being the best. Definitely nothing crazy on these, but there still is some money to be made on these regardless. Now for releases that are still supposed to be in December but don't have a precise date at the moment, we have the Yeezy 1050 High Res for $400. Now I'm not expecting much for these just because the retail is $400, so in order for them to be profitable, they'll have to have some pretty high resale value, but I'm still not sure. We don't know what the stock is going to be yet, so we'll see as we do approach the release date, and I'll try to keep you guys updated. As of right now though, I'm not too optimistic. But anyway, that will conclude conclude it now for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two. Subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike, sneakers, or Adidas accounts. Also, follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways, and the same goes for Gargantua if you want to keep up with the progress or restocks. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for you to guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all these upcoming releases.